So he would say he was probably the only person in church history converted by Ecclesiastes 11:3.
Right.
And right now your listeners are saying,
What verse is that?
Ecclesiastes 11:3. I don't think I know what that verse
Right.
says. It's if a tree falls in the woods, not does it make a sound? That's not the verse, but it's if a tree falls in the woods, whether it falls to the north or the south, there it lies. Well, here's what happened. RC was in his dorm. He was going to go to Youngstown, Ohio, because the bars in Youngstown didn't check IDs.
Right.
And on his way, he stops at the Lucky Strikes machine to get a pack of cigarettes going out the door. And as he reaches down to pull the cigarettes out of the bottom, he looks over and he sees two seniors who are leaders of the football team. And they motion RC to come over to him. So of course he's going to go. He's a freshman and he's on the football team and he's going to go to these upperclassmen. And they're sitting over a Bible, open Bibles. And they say, hey, we're having a Bible study and we're reading this verse. And they read to him Ecclesiastes 11:3. RC goes back to his dorm room, spends a couple hours in prayer, pleading for God's mercy to save him, because he said, I saw myself as that dead tree rotting in the woods.
Yeah.
And dead in my sin. And he pleads for God's mercy. And that's his conversion in 1961. I mean, it's just, or I'm sorry, 1957. I mean, it's just an amazing story. Well, then, about a year later, it's winter. He can't sleep. He says he feels summoned. He writes about this opening pages of Holiness of God, but much better than I can retell it. Makes the midnight walk to the chapel there on the campus of Westminster College, drawn right through the Gothic doors under the oaken doors under a Gothic arch of the chapel, through the nave and right to the front. And he's overwhelmed with the sense of the holiness of God. And he called it his second conversion. But, the thing to me about it was, we all think of RC, we've been talking about his family life and just his personal life, sports. It's the theology of RC that drew us in, draws us in. And primarily, it's the doctrine of God that draws us in.
Yeah.
And primarily, it's the holiness of God. I mean, this is his hallmark. And you see it right from the beginning of his conversion. He said this often, Camden, you find it in his books. He would say it often. When he first was converted and he read the Bible through for the first time, really, he came to this realization that this is a God who plays for keeps. And I think that was right there out of the gate of his Christian life and ministry. And he never wavered from it. He never really moved off of that as his emphasis.